All right, hello, my friends, and welcome. How's everyone doing today? Today is Sunday, June 17th, 2018. I am Darkside Phil, and welcome to my gameplay stream for the day. Before we even get to that, I should preface this stream by saying Happy Father's Day. I know that not every country celebrates it today, but in particular the United States does. And the United States of America is where I live, so I figure I should say this, right before I talk about anything today. Happy Father's Day to anyone out there. Number one, who is a father. Congratulations. It is an honor, right? And number two, happy Father's Day to everyone's father in general. Take the opportunity today for sure, if you absolutely at all can, to say happy Father's Day to your dad and thank him for everything that he's ever done for you, if at all possible. Some people don't have that means, and I understand that, and that's cool, but just throwing that out there. I actually, later today, after this stream ends and while dinner is cooking, I'm going to give my dad a call and wish him a happy Father's Day. So, alright, so that's out of the way. Now we can continue on. So what's going on today, folks? Well, I'm coming back from a pretty good day off that I had yesterday. As you guys know, I take one day off a week to spend with my girl and run errands and do shopping and the like. Had a really good day yesterday because I stayed unplugged from the internet, which was great because the internet was all abuzz with the usual haters and idiots trying to slander me with complete nonsense and out-of-context clips and videos, which they do all the time. They do it all the freaking time. And, it gets to the point where, does it bother me? Of course it does. But I'm so glad that yesterday I stayed unplugged from the internet, did not pay attention to any of that nonsense. And I ended up having a really great day yesterday with Kat, doing a lot of interesting stuff. And, I needed it. I needed to unwind. I needed to unplug from all that crap for a day. Okay? Sound good? All right. Now, I will talk about this in a moment, but first I want to get to the more positive stuff and let you guys know exactly what we're doing today and for the rest of the week. Then we'll get back, and I will very briefly address the idiocy of the people on the internet talking shit about me, just to explain for those of you who have no idea what's going on, to get a little bit of clarification. All right. But, first of all, what's going on today? Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a great stream. This is going to be Half-Life 2's premiere. That is right. Wow, one of the few classic games. Like, it really does when you think about classics, okay? When you think about classics, you think of certain games over time. And in particular, Half-Life 2 is definitely one of them. Although, quite frankly, I think it's kind of sad that games like Half-Life 2 have fallen out of prominence because Valve, as a game developer, has not made games in quite a long time. I mean, it was crazy because at one point Valve was making so many games that were great. I mean, just think about it. Half-Life 1 and 2, then Half-Life 2 had two really great expansions. Then they made Team Fortress and Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 was a humongous hit that still to this day is played and brings in money. And then they made Portal 1 and 2, right? So they had a really good repertoire of games under their belt. I couldn't even think of one. None of those are bad. They're all good, right? So Valve was known. Oh, also, didn't they also make Counter-Strike, I think? I think so, right? Counter-Strike? So they're known as a really high-grade game developer, right? And they made a ton of money with all these games. Counter-Strike in particular, by the way, was insanely huge at one time. I remember I had a friend who was like addicted to it, and he loved the freaking game. He played it hardcore. And then they decided, well, instead of making games, what we're going to do, well, it's not that they didn't say instead of making games. They said, while we're making games, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a client on PC called Steam that would make it easy for you to get all games for PC. Because before then, there really was no one central hub to get games. Instead, it was like, well, if you want to get PC games, you got to buy them directly from the manufacturer. So you either got to go to the store or order them off the internet to get a physical copy. Or you got to go to the actual manufacturer's or publisher's website and download direct from the website. And it was kind of annoying. So what Steam did, which is an incredibly ingenious idea, let's just have a central marketplace hub for all PC games. And not to say that every single PC game is there and that there's no competition, because today there is. But basically, Valve got a stranglehold on the market, right? And since Steam took off so huge, Valve basically stopped making games. And so, you know, the talk about the great games that Valve had made over the years kind of faded out. You know, it's funny because 10 years ago, I started making content for the internet, right, guys? I started doing, you know, gameplay videos and eventually streams. Never, I don't think, was there ever a huge clamor for me to play Half-Life 2. Now, over the years, I played Portal 1 and 2, and I also played Team Fortress 2. But really, there was never that much of a demand for me to play Half-Life 2, which is surprising because, you know, it is still, to this day, held in high regard as one of the best first-person shooter-style games ever made, even though a lot of it isn't even shooting. I remember there's a gravity gun and stuff like that. So kind of weird, I guess, but I think now is a great time for me to be playing Half-Life 2 for multiple reasons. First of all, before we even start with anything, I want to say thank you to the people who subscribed to my channel and made this possible. It was hitting a subscriber goal that brought back the ability to kind of have a custom-made playthrough like this. Number two, thank you to the patrons who pledged, nominated, and voted, and made Half-Life 2 the winning game. This is going to be a pretty fun experience, in my opinion. For just a little bit of background, guys, I never completed Half-Life 2. When Half-Life 2 was a new game, I actually played it for a while, and then later on, when the orange box was released, I played it again, but I've never completed this game. I think I've gotten maybe roughly a third to halfway through it, because from all reports, the game can be anywhere from 8 to 12 hours long, depending on your skill level. And I know I've played it for at least 4 hours once. So I might have seen about a third to half of the game. I'm not sure. But I've never beaten it. So, you know, there's going to be legitimate parts of this game where I'm going to have the first time I'm seeing stuff and not know what to do, right? So, this should be pretty interesting, for sure. This should be a fun playthrough, and the thing is, the way I'm playing it, just so everyone is perfectly clear, I am playing this on the Xbox One via Xbox 360 backwards compatibility with the orange box. And you might say, well, why is he playing the console version? It's very simple, because I know if I try to play this on PC, there's going to be frame rate drops and issues. Every time I try to play a serious first-person style game on PC, and while I'm capturing and streaming, I get issues with frame rate and the like. So I said, you know what? I know if I play this on the Xbox One, yes, there are not frame rate issues, but it is a less frame rate than if I played it on PC. It runs at 30, a solid 30 frames, instead of on 60. Okay? But I think this is going to be a fun playthrough regardless. I'll be able to play it with a controller, by the way, which is good. Okay? And I think it's going to be fun. Now, the other cool thing is with the orange box, you get all the expansions, and Half-Life 2 has 2 major expansions, Episode 1 and Episode 2. Neither of those did I ever play. I've never seen a single second of either of those expansions, okay? So, for those of you who like Half-Life 2, if you like this playthrough, be sure to let me know. It is certainly not outside of the realm of reason. If you guys like this playthrough and you want to see me do the expansions, for me to play the expansions, I would strongly consider playing the expansions as well, as long as people are watching and enjoying the playthroughs and the streams. I don't see the reason why I wouldn't also check out the expansions, okay? So it should be pretty good, okay? And that's starting today. So today we'll have roughly 4 hours of Half-Life 2, okay? Now let's talk about the schedule for the rest of the week, okay? And then, after that, I'll let you guys know about the stupid nonsense that's been happening on the internet yesterday. And then we'll get to plugs, shout-outs, all the usual stuff on the pre-stream, okay? Alright, so, today, Half-Life 2, the premiere, 4+ hours on stream. Tonight, no second stream. I'll be doing the weekend preview, which I did not do last week. So it's actually the return of the weekend preview. All right. And it should be pretty fun to do it and let you guys know fully what's going on this week coming up. But outside of that, I'm going to have some other personal stuff to do and take care of tonight. So, only one stream today. But then tomorrow, I return with double streams. All right? All week long, double stream days. Monday, here's what I'm going to do. Tomorrow's main stream is either going to be more Half-Life 2 or more Jurassic World Evolution. And I might do a poll overnight to determine what I play. Okay. Personally, I'm not sure what I would like to play. I mean, Jurassic World I've been having a lot of fun with. And I finally beat the 3rd island. We're on to the 4th island now out of 5. So I really like the game. And I wouldn't mind playing that again tomorrow. But if people really like Half-Life 2 today and want to see more Half-Life 2, I wouldn't mind playing Half-Life 2 2 days in a row either. All right. Monday night, more Vampire. And I'm nearing the end of the game. I'm at Chapter 5 and about halfway through it. So probably another 1 to 2 more sessions of Vampire. I should be able to wrap up the game. The game only has 6 playable chapters. Chapter 7 apparently is just narrative. So, should be fun. And I hope you guys will check out Vampire if you've been watching the ongoing playthrough. Should continue tomorrow night. Alright. Tuesday, I'm going to play whatever I did not play on Monday. So if I play Half-Life 2 tomorrow, then it's going to be Jurassic World on Tuesday or vice versa. And then Tuesday night is going to be the return of H1Z1. Fun game that I've been playing on PS4 and having a lot of fun playing, so that'll be Tuesday night. Wednesday, more than likely, again, will be whatever I didn't play the other day. Okay? And then Wednesday night, more Vampire. Alright? And then we're going to see, how am I doing with everything? Because there is a new release this week, if you guys aren't aware. It's Mario Tennis Aces. And I am going to be getting it thanks to the donation of a viewer. And I don't want to say his name because he didn't necessarily say he wanted a shout out. I don't want to get undue negative attention or whatever. But someone donated enough credit on the eShop for me to get Mario Tennis Aces. So I will be playing that on Friday to see how the game is. And that should be pretty fun too, okay? So this week will be a balance between Half-Life 2, Jurassic World Evolution, the conclusion of Vampire, some H1Z1. And I am also planning on squeezing in a Street Fighter session sometime this week. Either Alpha 3 or Third Strike, one of the two, okay? So there will be some Street Fighter action this week, too. So there you go, wide variety of gaming and gameplay this week. Should be a lot of fun, alright? And, yeah, I'm excited for this week. I hope you guys are, too. I want to say again, as usual, thank you guys for checking out the streams. Thank you guys for watching the videos on YouTube. Everything's been good recently. Everything, your contributions, cheers, subs, tips, everything's been great. And thank you for that, alright? So now, very quickly, let me just get the stupid negativity garbage out of the way, because some people are confused about what's going on. This is a very simple one, guys. Here's what happened. On Thursday, I did a special podcast. My podcast returned for the first time in 6 months, and I had a 40-minute segment discussing depression, because I suffer from it. I've had it for most of my life, most of my adult life. Ever since I became a teenager is when it first started afflicting me. And I had a real heartfelt segment about it. Talked about stuff I've never talked about publicly before. And since then, I've gotten a lot of people have come to me and said, thank you very much for sharing. It actually was a very interesting segment. Some people said they suffer from it themselves and they felt better after hearing the segment. Some people said they don't suffer from it, but it actually helped spread awareness and they appreciated that as well. All right. So the segment was great. And people in general have enjoyed it. Okay. However, you guys know I have, sadly, a group of people who are toxic individuals who follow me around and try to do everything they possibly can to hurt me and make me look bad. So immediately when I started doing this segment, they said, he's lying, he's a faker, he's full of shit, he's a bad person, he's trying to get attention, herpaderpader. Alright, the usual bullshit. And you know what? Quite frankly, I knew that was going to happen. Alright, I knew that people were going to be nasty to me. But I personally said, it's okay. I will take the abuse. If that segment helped a single person, then it's worth it for me to take whatever abuse I'm going to get afterward from these scumbags, okay? So that's exactly what happened. For about 24 hours, they just attacked me nonstop, saying that I'm a liar, and I made it up so that I could try to get attention for myself, and yada, yada, yada. Whatever, right? Well, Friday night, I was starting up my stream to finish up Unravel 2, and we had a guy who already is an established troll. This guy has been timed out and banned from the chat before. He's asked moderators to get back in, and they let him back in. So, basically, this is a guy who is a well-known troll. He's done this before. Alright. So, Friday night, he's in the stream chat. Now, stream hasn't even started yet. I'm just starting to talk on stream. And this guy is spamming the stream chat. I'm not saying, oh, once or twice. I'm talking about, like, spamming the fucking stream chat, saying that he is depressed and he needs attention, and everyone's ignoring him. No one in the chat will talk to him. I'm being a bad person because I'm not addressing him and I'm ignoring him, yada, yada, yada. So if you were actually here on the stream and you saw what was going on, you would blatantly see this guy is a troll. He's a known troll. He's done the stupid stuff before, and by the grace of us being nice to him, we let him back into the stream chat. Here he is again doing it again. He's obviously making fun of me for my depression segment, right, on the show the day before, and people were all disgusted. Basically, people were ignoring him to the point where, like, I got 2 private messages at the time from people saying, could you do something about this guy? He's spamming the chat. He's annoying us. This is stupid. So I'm looking at all this happen, and I stopped the stream. I said, all right. I said, if you really are depressed, he says he's depressed, everyone. Let's see what he has to say, since he's just screaming for attention in the stream chat. Let's see what this guy actually has to say, since he's derailing the whole chat. And I waited. I waited a good 30 to 45 seconds on pre-stream for this guy to say something. He says nothing. And I said, well, you see, I think that the guy was really just trolling. And then he responds, oh, I'm not even paying attention anymore. So I said, all right, well, since you derailed all of our chat and made us, spam the stream chat, annoyed the hell out of everyone, I'm going to time you out. I didn't ban the guy. I didn't talk shit about the guy. I didn't insult the guy. I just said, all right, we're just going to time you out because you were derailing the chat. All right? And that's all that it was. That was it. Now, 10 minutes later, the guy comes back in to the stream chat after he, the timeout expired, and he blatantly insults me with an insulting phrase that all of my detractors use. It's obviously the guy is a detractor. He's one of this group. And then he got permanently banned. And so we all just said, wipe our hands of it, right? Wipe our hands of it. It's over. This is so stupid, This is incredibly dumb. The whole situation was a waste of our time, which I knew it was from the get-go because I know this guy as being a troll. I know his name. I know who he is, right? And that was that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, after that ended, all right, we had a fun stream where I finished Unravel 2, and, no one cared. That was it. Why are we going to waste our time thinking about this situation any further? It was an easy cleanup, right? Well, what people have done is taken it upon themselves to take the clip just of me originally addressing this guy on stream, basically saying, so this guy is saying that he's depressed, you're so depressed, and you're derailing our stream chat. Let's see what you actually have to say. The guy says nothing. Then he says he's not paying attention, and he gets timed out. So all they do, okay, is highlight that one segment. They have no context whatsoever. No context that personally I had done a show about depression the day before, and that this guy was a known troll, that he came in and was making fun of me for the first 10 minutes of the stream, derailing the whole stream chat, people asking me to take care of this guy because he's spamming the stream chat and annoying the hell out of everyone. I publicly gave him a chance, if he really was legit, to say something. He doesn't. He proves that he's a troll. He gets timed out. Instead of banned, I'm nice to him. I time him out instead, right? So then he comes back after 10 minutes, blatantly insults me in front of everyone, and gets permanently banned. Do they show that whole situation? Of course not. They just show the one short clip of me calling the guy out for spamming the stream chat. And if you just hear it out of context, with zero context of anything, yeah, it may make me look like I'm being insensitive, all right? But the bottom line is I didn't insult the guy. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing there. It was just calling a guy out for being a jerk in the stream chat, okay? So, that being said, it happens. And stupid that people do this. Completely out of context, right? Absolutely completely out of context. And now you've got idiots posting it up over on Reddit in the land of the fucking worthless, completely worthless posters, all causing drama over there, which they always do. They always try to cause drama. No matter what happens here on my stream, someone posts shit over there. They try to stir up drama from people who have absolutely no idea what the hell's actually going on, right? Really stupid. And apparently, I said Reddit, not Let-It, by the way. But apparently, now, people spamming my social media, because the thing is, I wasn't paying any attention yesterday at all. It was my day off. But these idiots were apparently trolling my social media, as usual, trying to report me to get me banned from Twitch and everything, which isn't going to work because I didn't do anything wrong. in context, the whole situation is completely different than out of context, all right? Now, what's hilarious here is that there's actually people who are so stupid, they actually think that context doesn't matter. Someone, no lie, someone actually tweeted me overnight and said, but context doesn't matter. Oh my God. If you actually think that, I pity you. You are going to have a very, very bad life. If you think context does not matter, okay, whatever you say, context doesn't matter, right? So there you go. But the bottom line is, guys, when you're in context, things always seem to make sense. Do you really think that out of nowhere, with no reason whatsoever, I would all of a sudden call someone out in the stream chat? You know what I mean? Do you really think that I want to derail my chat or derail my stream? Of course not. You know, for me, I'm doing pre-stream, I'm talking with people, having fun. Do you think I want to do that? Of course not. I was actually being nice to the guy, rather than just saying, well, fuck you, permanent ban, screw you. I was trying to be nice to the guy to prove that if the guy had legitimate concerns, he would have gotten, you know, attention for it. Obviously, there was none, which I knew from the get-go because the guy was a known troll. But I was trying to be fair, right? And now people are going to twist that to try to get to make me look bad. You know what? If anyone actually thinks that watching a clip completely out of context proves anything, I'm sorry, you are ignorant. And that is the bottom line. Everything in life has a context. Everything. Okay? So you need to know the context. I mean, that's really stupid. Really stupid. And I'm just very happy that yesterday I was on my day off. Because if I had to put up with that shit, you know, it was a normal work day and all day all I saw was that stuff, it probably would have really, really upset me. But instead, I was able to have a day unplugged from the internet with my girl. I had a lot of fun. And I came back today refreshed. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just very briefly address this on the pre-stream. Get it out of the way so the crap is out of the way. Shovel the crap out of the way. Right? And move on. The bottom line is the people who were actually on the stream saw the whole context of the situation and had no problem with anything that happened. At all. Everyone was like, okay, good. He dealt with the troll. He didn't insult the troll. He just got rid of him. And now we could have a fun stream. And that's what the whole point was. But these idiots will continue to take stuff out of context to make me look bad. There's nothing we can do about it, you know. It's going to continue to happen over and over. And, you know, it is what it is, guys, you know. It is what it is. And, you know, just deal with it. What can I say? You know, we all have to deal with it. It sucks. The bottom line is us carrying on positively and just having fun on stream is the best way to address it. As more people come in, and we'll probably undoubtedly spam the stream chat and spam my social media with unwarranted hate because they're basically ignorant people who don't do 2 seconds of research to find out a whole situation. This will probably go down as just another one of the things, like Phil scammed his patrons. I actually still get people, you scammed your patrons for Super Mario Sunshine. People are saying that to me, and I'm like, I played Super Mario Sunshine. We had a Patrons' Choice event, right? I played 2 games for the event. I first played Spyro, then I played Super Mario Sunshine. So I gave double as much for that Patrons' Choice event as I was obligated to, and they have turned it into I scammed my patrons. I mean, this is the idiotic stuff these people say. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I was like, huh? But undoubtedly, it'll just become one of those things. You know what I mean? It really will. It'll become one of those stupid things where this is one of the things that we spin to make Phil look bad, despite the fact there's zero factual basis for any of it. So anyway, that being said, that's out of the way, and I'm not going to say anything else about it, you know, and we're just going to move on positively and ignore it. So let all of Reddit explode being idiots, believing something completely out of context, not knowing anything about the situation. Go ahead and waste your time and rage against nothing and fart against the wall for all I care. Doesn't affect me. So go right ahead and waste your time. Okay. All right, guys. Let's very quickly go through some plugs. And then I got a lot of shout-outs to do today. Some people were really very supportive over my day off. All right. They came by and cheered, subbed, and tipped, which is very nice. So let's go ahead and just get right to the plugs and then to the shout-outs. So, thank you guys for 10 years of support. Very much. I appreciate you guys being supportive of me. as a content creator, 10 years of fun, and obviously, after 10 years, if I'm still here and you guys are still loving what I'm doing something right, right? So thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for watching the streams. And obviously, if you want to continue to be supportive, those are the things that you should do in order to help out. But in the case that you would like to actually go above and beyond, all right, above and beyond being just a stream viewer or video watcher, all right, then guess what? There's ways you can do that. 3 major ways. Let's cover them. The first would be my Patreon, which you can check out over at patreon.com/darksidephil. You may have noticed I already mentioned several times during this pre-stream, Patron's Choice. Patron's Choice is quite awesome. It's a chance where if you pledge to my Patreon, $5 or more a month, you get to nominate and vote on games for events. Events that turn into concrete, happenings like a marathon stream or a full playthrough. In particular, we're starting Half-Life 2, which was a Patron's Choice event. If you pledge $5 or more to my Patreon this month, you'll be nominating and then voting on games for the Rageathon, an upcoming marathon where you get to choose games that will literally piss me off. All right. So, yeah, please consider pledging. There's other cool perks that you can get as well for being a patron, but I'm not going to go through all the details. Check it out for yourself over at patreon.com/darksidephil. Thanks to anyone who is an existing patron. I appreciate that. And to anyone considering becoming a new one, especially to get in on this Rageathon event, thank you for that as well. All right, folks. All right. Number 2, you can check out my Teespring merchandise shop where you can buy t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. Very fun stuff. Great quality stuff that I can attest to because I own a bunch of it. I wear it on streams all the time. And the mug I've used on every single stream ever since I bought it last year. I've owned this merch now from over a year. It's very high quality stuff. The shirts have not worn out yet. That's because I picked a higher grade shirt, which, it means that I get less money. Everything you buy from my Teespring shop, I get a cut. But because I picked the higher quality products for you guys, I make less money per sale. But it's worth it because you guys get a higher quality product and I, make a little bit of commission. Helps me out. So thanks, guys. Check it out. Teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. All right. Please check it out. And then last but not least, guys, if you're here live on the stream, and the reason I say that is because some people do watch this pre-stream on demand on YouTube. If you're here live on the stream and you would like to get a shout out during the stream, I will obviously allow you to do so. If you either cheer, sub, or tip, you will get a shout out during the course of the stream. All right. It's always fun having the interactivity on the streams. Trust me, ever since I instituted this last year, in my opinion, the gameplay is much better. It makes stuff a lot more fun. All right. That being said, if you are looking to get a shout out on the stream, there's a few criteria that you should follow. The first is please be as short-worded and as concise as possible in your shout-outs, meaning please don't post up a paragraph, don't post up a 15-sentence question, a Shakespearean soliloquy, half of the Bible. See what I mean? The shorter you are, the better. If you do a giant message, chances are I'm not going to read it and derail the entirety of the chat, the entirety of the stream. So please be very aware, all right? That's number 1. Please be as short-worded as possible. And number 2, please try to remain on topic. Please try to remain positive. And please, no insults and no toxicity. So, for example, don't come in here cheering and then trying to insult myself or someone else. I'm not going to read it, okay? Number 2, please don't bring up things like religion, politics, or those kind of controversial topics. This is a gameplay stream primarily, and even though we do allow open discussion of topics, if you bring up stuff like that that's controversial, that people are going to get angry no matter what's said, chances are I'm not going to read it because I don't want to derail, again, my whole stream into controversial arguments. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, just in general, try to stay positive. All right, guys? Try not, the whole point of this stream is to put on entertaining and fun and positive streams so people can come and hang out, feel like they can have fun here, and not feel like the whole thing's just about, negativity and drama. Trust me, there's plenty of other streams you can go to if you want to be full of negativity and drama the whole time. This is not it. That's why I address any kind of crap early on in the pre-stream. We get it out of the way, and then we can jump into fun gameplay and not have to worry about the crap. All right? So, there you go, guys. Let's see here. I'm trying to get my air conditioner to turn on because right now it's very hot in my office. We're actually having a heat wave here in Washington starting today. They're actually, it's in the 80s today and bright sun, and it's going to be like this for the whole week. So until like Thursday, Friday, we're going to be in the 80s, which means in my office it's 95, 100 degrees. So I have to have my air conditioner blasting constantly so that I don't, completely sweat myself out. So, please forgive me if I get a little distracted. I got to mess with my air conditioner on and off. All right. Now, in addition to your shout-outs, guys, verbal shout-outs, maybe you'd like to have a cool animation play on stream in conjunction with your contribution so that you get visual and verbal recognition, right? Well, if you'd like to do that, you can. In order to qualify, you either need to cheer 50 or more bits in one time, or if you subscribe to the channel, if you wait a couple minutes, a share button should appear, and if you click on that share button, or you could tip me $5 or more. If you do any of those three things at a go, all right? Holy shit, that was a good sneeze. That was a good, strong sneeze. Yowzer, that was a big one. Sorry, guys, damn. Okay, let's continue. Woo! If you would like a cool animation to play on stream, if you do those three things, you will get one. These are cool celebratory animations that will show your message. Alright, so it's a good way for you to get both visual and verbal recognition for your contributions. Okay, guys? People are reacting to the sneeze now in stream chat, laughing and reacting. Oh my god. I know, that was a big one. That was a strong sneeze, okay? So again, thank you anyone for your contributions today. If you guys don't notice, on the top of the screen, we have got the Stream Stats leaderboard. Since we are playing a retro throwback game, most people already know the story of Half-Life 2. We're going to go ahead and use this leaderboard during the playthrough. Alright, so yes, this will be pretty cool. If you are the top cheerer or the top tipper for the day, you will get a shout-out, first of all, when you contribute, but also you will be ending up to be put onto the leaderboard. So I'm going to update this right now as I start to do shout-outs for everyone who's cheered, subbed, and tipped already. Okay? So it's a good way to get recognition for you guys who, want to try to get some recognition that will be ongoing rather than just a momentary shout-out, all right? If you're top cheer or top tip during the Half-Life 2 playthrough, you'll get credit. One other thing, as I've already said, if you guys really like Half-Life 2, I'll consider playing episodes 1 and 2 as well in the future. Maybe this summer, because it looks like there's going to be a lot of downtime in July. Holy shit, is there nothing coming out in July this year. So I'm going to need some stuff to play, okay? Alright, two more quick things and then we'll get to shoutouts. Number one, subscribers. We're currently at 485. I'm actually going to double check that. We may have gone down a few here on the pre-stream. Let's double check. But subscribers have been pretty high. I'm pretty pleased with where we are with subscribers right now. Oh, no, we're still at 485. And I want to say thank you guys for your support. We already hit 2 monthly goals this month. We hit the Rageathon, which is happening, and we hit the fact that there's going to be a second Patron's Choice playthrough this summer. It's going to be The Simpsons Hit and Run. Alright, so 2 completely separate, awesome playthroughs coming up because of a direct support from people who sub to the channel. Alright, now there's no Tier 3 sub goal this month, mostly because I don't want to jump the gun. I have a great idea for a sub goal next month. Alright, so I don't want to say, oh, let me just go, do it too early, and the next thing you know, next month I have nothing good to do for a sub goal. Alright, but if you do subscribe to the channel, number one, you're helping me out, which is huge. Thank you for that, all your support. Number two, you get access to really fun emotes, including the ever-popular DSP Pepe emote, but in addition to that, a whole bunch of new Street Fighter emotes, including the DSP Ryu, Hadouken, and Fireball emotes that were just added over the past couple of weeks. And these are great, especially when I play Street Fighter in particular, which I usually do once a week. You get to use these, and also, not only can you use them here, you can use them in anyone else's chat. So if you are a huge fan of fighting games in particular, and you go to other people's chats, you can use those emotes anywhere, okay? So that's number one. Number two, if you don't want to have to watch advertisements, for example, at least 1 to 2 times every major stream I run ads. And when I do, you have to watch ads. And no one likes ads. I don't like them either, alright? So if you subscribe to the channel, you don't have to watch those ads, alright, at all. So, that's a good benefit as well. And of course, the third benefit, you get the cool Chat Crown Badge support. Boy, let's try that again. The Chat Loyal... That's not it either. The Subscriber Chat Badge that shows your ongoing support and loyalty. That's what I meant to say. Boy, did I fudge that one. I've got marbles in the mouth. So, you start off when you subscribe with a bronze crown. After 3 months of support, it changes to a silver crown. And after another 3 months with 6 months of ongoing support, it's gold. And then after a year, you get some rubies. And we got a few people who are coming up on a 2-year anniversary, which is pretty awesome. Okay? So please give it a look and consider subscribing. It helps me out. You get some really cool things as well. All right? And thanks to everyone who is an ongoing supporter and subscriber. Last but not least, I've mentioned tipping several times on this pre-stream. And you may not realize it, but it's something completely separate from cheering and subbing, which are two things you do through Twitch. Tipping is like through a third party, through a PayPal pay. How do you do that? Well, what you do is you do one of two things. You can either look below my stream right now, where you'll see a grid of information, including things like the stream rules, which you very definitely should read and understand. There's also a link to my YouTube channel, DSPGaming, where I back up all of my daily gameplay, archived streams. But then in addition to that, there's a button there that says tip jar. If you click on that, it'll take you to the PayPal tips page. You can either leave an anonymous tip, or you can leave your name in a message so you can get a shout out on this stream, as I've already mentioned. If you don't see any of that grid of information I just described, chances are you're on a mobile version of Twitch, which is fine. If that's the case, then please instead type in !tip. Alright. And if you do that, you will bring up the link in the stream chat that goes to the tips page, and you can just click on that link to go right there and leave a tip as well. Alright. So thanks to anyone who cheers subs to tips. Your contributions are greatly appreciated. In fact, it's time now for shout-outs. Yes, shout-outs! Yes, ladies and gents, let's do some shout-outs for those who've contributed. And allow me to do this, for full time. Really cool, right? So first of all, what I want to do, I want to scroll all the way down here where we've got people who contributed over the time that I have my day off. All right, pretty cool that, excuse me, pretty cool that people keep me in mind when I'm not even live streaming. So special thanks to the following people who all contributed during my day off. We had Emperor Swaggins, who cheered. He said, since the Surge 2 is coming in 2019, when are you going to play the first one? I will admit the Surge 2 doesn't look as bad as the first one. From the 2 minutes of gameplay I saw, it's a solid 3. You got dual wielding now, and the boss they showed shoots lasers out of its nostrils, so not bad. I have no desire to play the Surge. The Surge is by the same people who made Lords of the Fallen, which is a broken piece of garbage. I skipped the Surge, and from all reports, I missed nothing. So there's no reason for me to play it. Emperor Swaggins Emperor Swaggins resubbed for the 6th consecutive month, earning a golden crown in the chat. And he says, yes, the golden crown feels good, man. Keep up the amazing swaggy content, Phil. Thank you very much, Emperor Swaggins, for the support. Incognito Burrito subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Incognito Burrito, for the sub. Genetic Gamer 4 cheered and said, my brother, who is a longtime supporter of you, his online name is Sammy Samosa. He's feeling ill. He's in the hospital. Can you give him, one of your longtime supporters, a shout out? Yes, I can. Shout out to Sammy Samosa. I hope you feel better. I obviously remember you both from Stream Chat, and you used to be an avid poster on the forums. Have not seen you in quite a while. I hope you feel better. Get well soon. Shout out to Emperor Swaggins, who cheered again and said, found out some stuff about Neo 2. It'll have character creation, stances will return, yokai powers are confirmed, and there will also be a free demo, just like the first one had. Oh boy, and we all know that when I played the demo of Neo 1, nothing eventful happened whatsoever. It was pretty much one of the most boring sessions I've ever done, so definitely playing the sequel, nothing bad should happen either, right? Nothing whatsoever. Oh my god. Alright, Emperor Swaggins cheered again. He said, are you excited for Hitman 2? I don't know, man. It looks exactly the same as the last one. I couldn't see a single change other than the locations. I mean, if they're going to do it that way, why not just add these as DLC episodes for the first one? Well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I actually really did like the last Hitman game, but I really feel that it suffered hugely. It suffered hugely from being split up and being an episodic release. I think a lot of people would have liked it better if it were a single game, but this is what Square Enix dictated to the game developers at the time. The good news now is this game development studio that makes Hitman is not under Square Enix anymore. They were released and picked up by another studio, and now they're able to make this game a full-fledged release, which is what it should have been to begin with. And so we'll see, Sometimes it can be pretty difficult to see gameplay tweaks, changes, or improvements just from watching a trailer, okay? So I guess we'll see once the game actually releases how it is. I'm actually going to get it. I am. Because I like the Hitman series. I liked the last game. I just thought that there were a lot of shortcomings because it was episodic. So I'm looking forward more to this game being a, solid, full release this fall. When is it coming out? In November, right? November 13th? Yeah. Okay. Very nice. Shout out to Golden Colts, who did a 105-bit cheer during my day off. Tandem Outer did a 50-bit cheer. Golden Colts did another series of cheers, 4 of them. So thank you, Golden Colts, for all of that support while I wasn't here. Lincoln Simpson resubbed for the 3rd month in a row and said, excited for Half-Life 2, your opinion about the Resident Evil 2 remake. Hope they bring back a classic camera. I don't like the third person. I almost guarantee you, Lincoln Simpson, that you are not alone. A lot of people for the classic Resident Evil games are used to the fixed camera perspective. For those who don't know, that means that the camera stays at a certain spot in every room when you're there at a certain angle. And for the original survival horror classics like Resident Evil, Dino Crisis, etc., this fixed camera angle actually added difficulty to the game because a lot of the times there'd be an enemy off camera that would get you, or there would be a jump scare that would get you because you couldn't see very well, or you would hear an enemy coming towards you, but they weren't on camera yet, and it would add to the big creepiness of the game, right? Having a full third-person control-style game over the shoulder definitely, I think, will take away a little bit from the survival horror aspect. Although, let's be honest, some people really do feel that it's cheap in those games. Like, wow, I got grabbed, or, I got cheaply scared because something was off camera, I couldn't see it. If I could have seen it, that wouldn't have happened. And I understand some people feel like that's cheap. But hey, I grew up with that. That's part of survival horror for me. That will always be part of classic survival horror, is the whole fixed camera thing. So I get it. Some people probably will not like that about the remake. It would be cool maybe if they did the remake 3 different ways. You could play it third person, you could play it fixed camera, or for people who liked Resident Evil 7, you could play it first person. Imagine that, if you could actually play the game in 3 completely different perspectives. But I doubt that's going to happen. Let's face it, it's Capcom. They don't really do that much anymore. Imagine if they did that much fan service, would be amazing. There's no way they're going to do that at all, okay? Alright. Shout out to Hand Celebratory. He did a 25-bit cheer and made a masturbation joke, which I'm not going to read. But I want to say thank you for the cheer, and I appreciate the joke, but some people may not. Therefore, I can't read it. Okay? Alright. So now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go to the people who cheered, subbed, and tipped during this stream. Alright, so I will begin to update the leaderboard here as we go through. I actually believe, let me see. So right now, the top cheer is, wow, it's huge. Okay, so I'm not going to update the leaderboard until we get to the top cheer, alright? But I know we have a pretty huge, and we also have some really good tips, too. So, alright, let's start off with Orcs or Dorks, who cheered 50 bits. It says, GIHF in Half-Life 2. I don't know. Oh, wait. GLHF. Good luck, have fun in Half-Life 2. Thank you very much, Orcs or Dorks, for that. Chairman Caleb cheered. He says, Steam has made Valve very complacent. They have little to dump resources into game development when Steam makes them a shit ton to begin with. It's sad, but true. Nick tipped me $1. Says, can't catch the stream today because I'm spending Father's Day with the family. I'm going to see Incredibles 2 in the drive-in theater. Looking forward to seeing the playthrough on YouTube. Enjoy the game that was named Best of the Last Decade. Well, Nick, just a forewarning, I saw this on social media. If you are going to watch Incredibles 2, and you or anyone in your family suffer from visual epileptic seizures, like if visual reactions could cause epileptic seizures, you might want to not watch this movie, or there are parts of this movie with extreme strobe lighting. Let's put it that way. There's a few sequences during the movie that could be pretty disturbing if you suffer from that. Just a forewarning, because I guess they did at the beginning of the movie. I guess they're not. It doesn't say, "Oh, warning." This movie could cause you. You know how at the beginning of every freaking video game ever now, it has the epileptic seizures warning. Apparently, this movie doesn't have it, and so people walked in and were like, we were expecting this. Holy shit! So there you go. Just a heads up. Something I saw on Twitter. Big story on Twitter. Okay. Shout out to YOLO Dopper. He cheered and said, Phil, don't worry about addressing negatives. You know the truth within you. That's all that matters. You don't need to worry about the out of a context stuff. Well, the thing is, sadly, I hate to say it, I do need to worry about it for multiple reasons. Number one, because, as you guys know, Twitch has new, stricter criteria, right? And if someone who, gets a false report, of which many were filed against me, I already saw some of them just on Twitter, saying that Phil's a bully, and Phil bullied a guy with depression, right? And the truth of the matter couldn't be further from the truth. But when you see that, you basically got to try to cover your own butt, I have to make sure that the full situation is explained out there. Not that some Twitch mod, sees this out-of-context clip with no context to know what's really going on and thinks that something's happening that's not, and the next thing you know, I get punished on Twitch. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I hate to say it, but, public opinion is a thing, even though I really don't care much about it, and it really doesn't matter because I have so much negative shit against me. 5 straight years of defamatory content and slander on the internet, that really, even if people believed this thing, this new negative thing, it wouldn't really negatively affect me at all, right? But just the fact of the matter that, I do need to at least have an explanation out there so that at least people understand what's going on, rather than, oh, well, Phil's been accused of this horrendous thing, and he didn't say a word about it, so therefore, he must have done it. Because it's sad, it really is. But for a lot of people, silence means consent, right? If you don't address something, it means it's true. Because if it wasn't true, you would address it. Which I think is fucking stupid as hell. In reality, if I don't address it, it probably means I think it's so stupid, it's a waste of my time, mine and everyone's time, and I should just continue on normally. I had to address the stupid escort situation back in December and January. As stupid as that was, as pointless and completely off base with zero realm of any reality or fact, I had to address it because so many idiots were gullible and believing it. So there you go, guys. Alright. Shout out to PS Geek, who cheered, said, Happy Sunday, Phil. Thank you, PS Geek. I appreciate that. Orcs or Dorks cheered again and said the volume might start out loud, by the way. Oh, really? Alright, well, we'll see. You guys, do a good job of on the fly. You guys pretty much let me know when stuff's too loud or whatever. So thank you for that, and, I'll be keeping my eyes obviously open, or my ears open too, and trying to adjust on the fly. Last Rambo did a 100-bit cheer. So you know what? Let's go ahead and get Last Rambo up on the leaderboard, since that is the biggest cheer so far. Just to get it started. And let's also, hold on. There we go. So thank you, Last Rambo, for that cheer. And he asks the following. He says, what did I think of the Jurassic World movie? Well, I thought that the Jurassic World movie, is pretty much a movie that's made for, number one, nostalgic purposes for those who really like the original Jurassic Park. And number two, as just kind of a fun movie. It's not meant to be taken seriously. Like, the original Jurassic Park was based on a book by Michael Crichton. Michael Crichton is a very, very detailed author, where when he writes his books, he tries to cover the details so that you feel what he's writing is plausible, okay? When I actually read the book of Jurassic Park, which, by the way, is incredibly more scary and graphic than the movie was. It's very gory. A lot of people get eaten alive and stuff in the book, okay? But the book covers the bases, per se. And that's kind of how I feel about the original Jurassic Park movie. Are there plot holes? Of course there are. There's plot holes in every major movie. But the original Jurassic Park feels kind of like, wow, if this really could be, if we had the technology to do this, this could be a realistic premise where someone actually tries to make a dinosaur park, right? And here's kind of the things that would happen. Jurassic World is kind of ridiculous. Just the premise is so silly of some of the stuff in it. And some of the most ridiculous scenes you've ever seen in an action movie. Oh, yes. The giant T-Rex is chasing the woman who works at the park. She's running in high heels instead of taking her fucking heels off. Give me a break. I mean, it's some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen. But overall, the movie is a fun package. Okay, a fun package deal. And I did enjoy the movie, even though it has some shortcomings and big plot holes and silly stuff. I still think it's a good movie. Okay? There you go. All right. Shout out to Great Waru, who did the LGBT pride flag emote with his cheer. He says, "Are you celebrating Pride Month?" Well, am I celebrating it? Not necessarily. I'm not really part of the movement or anything, but I am very supportive of people who are LGBT. I have no problems whatsoever with them at all. And, every once in a while you make a little joke or whatever, but I am very supportive of everyone being happy and everyone being themselves. I do not believe that things like that are an active choice, but I just believe that we are wired certain ways as humans. And that's my personal belief. You can disagree if you want, but my personal belief is that we are wired that way, and everyone has a right to be happy, and no one has a right to tell you have no right to be happy, unless your happiness comes at the expense and health of others. So it'd be one thing if, I'm only happy if, I bomb 4 countries and kill millions of people. Yes, then probably your happiness is not one that's a very viable one for the world. But just because you have a certain sexual orientation, you know what I mean, or a certain affinity, certainly does not mean that you now should be putting up with all kinds of, bias and prejudice and bigotry. That's ridiculous. It's stupid shit. It really is. So I say happy Pride Month to everyone. I've said this earlier this month. I'll say it again. And, be proud of who you are. No matter who you are, be proud of who you are. Don't be ashamed. There you go. All right. Shout out to Timbo Slice, who cheered. He says, "Your trolls these days are just dumb and don't show both sides of anything. Some idiot linked me to a video about Friday. All it shows is you talking to the guy. Nowhere does it show what he actually said at all in chat. Trolls try to start drama by showing one side of the story. Get ready for Half-Life 2. Yeah, there you go, Timbo. That's all they've done. That's all they can do, because if they actually showed what was going on in the chat, it would prove my whole, context, explanation. So they can't do that. This guy's been, number one, this guy's been banned before. He's a guy who already was known for trolling, banned before. By the kindness of the mods, let him back in. Then he's basically making fun of me for doing a depression segment on my podcast the day before. I call him out for it, saying, "I don't think you're serious. Let's see what you have to say." He has nothing to say. He gets timed out again. Then he comes back, and of course they don't show the insult that he says to me publicly when he comes back from his timeout. So, it's like every aspect of the situation in context shows that this guy is a jerk troll who's just there to annoy everyone. Not just me, he was annoying everybody. And people personally asked me to deal with him, which I did, appropriately. Didn't insult the guy, didn't go out of my way to deride him, just said, "All right, if you're serious, go right ahead, and let's hear what you have to say." And of course he wasn't serious. And then he got Das Boot, which is what should happen. So, don't listen to the nonsense, especially when it doesn't seem to make sense. Gee, Phil's responding to something, but we can't see what he's responding to. But let's just believe it's something negative and bad rather than actually get actual explanation of the situation. Sounds like something an immature person would do, and sadly, there's a lot of those on the internet, people. So what can I say? All right, shout out to PS Geek, who cheered again and said, "Real fans of DSP always support you. Trolls are going to trying to get attention, which we should not give them." I agree. Murdoch, what's going on, Murdoch? Murdoch tipped me $10. Thank you very much, Murdoch. Let's get you up on the leaderboard as the top tipper for today. Very nice. Thank you very much, Murdoch. I appreciate that. And Murdoch says the following. He says, "Half-Life 2 hype. This will be a fun playthrough. You are in for a treat. I hope this won't be the last playthrough of yours I'm able to watch because of stupid new copyright laws in the European Union that they're trying to push through." I've heard some stuff about this. I've heard a lot of stuff about European Union and everything. The bottom line is, even if these copyright laws go through, all right, I don't think they're going to massively negatively affect stuff like that. If anything, what'll happen is YouTube / Twitch / whoever will now have to deal with regulatory agencies on how they handle stuff on their websites. Because the bottom line is it's just been the Wild West. And everyone knows, in particular with YouTube, there is massive amounts of copyright infringement on YouTube. People steal my videos on a daily basis, right? They rip my videos out of context, in order to make me look bad. And it's illegal, Now, the European Union is basically saying these businesses can't allow people to do that anymore. You can't just have people steal shit and wave your hands and shrug your shoulders and say, oh, well, unless there's a lawsuit, we won't take action. All right? So it seems to me like maybe places like YouTube will finally have to actually do what they should have done from the get-go and set up some kind of legitimate business model that protects people's property. How that will affect people in the long term, I have no idea. No idea at all. There's no way to tell, okay? But I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. For me, business as usual. If something changes, I'll let you guys know. I certainly haven't heard any rumblings or inklings to that effect yet. So let's just keep going and see what happens, right? We're all along this ride together. Navona Cheery says, how are you feeling today? Well, I mean, I'm feeling good. I had a good relaxing day back or away yesterday. My day off was good. And now I'm back and I get to play Half-Life 2. I get to have a fun stream with all you guys. It's really awesome. Does it suck that in the day that I had off, at the same time that I was having a good time, that there were complete nudniks listening to out-of-context crap and saying that it was something that it wasn't? Of course it sucks. But I could either sit here and dwell on it and let it become all of me, or I could say, screw it, let's just move on positively, and, you know, there's a new day. And that's what I'm doing. So, there you go. Proxidist tipped me $1 and insulted me blatantly. He says that he wants to be unbanned, however, he calls me a fucking dingus. Do you really think that that's an effective method of getting unbanned? If you do, you may be a fool. Because I am not going to unban you when you insult me in your request to unban you. A proper way to ask would have said, can you please unban me? I'm not sure why I was banned, or can you please review the logs and let me know what happened so I know why I'm banned? The bottom line is this guy probably just wanted to insult me. So, there you go. Alright. So you're not getting unbanned. Excuse me. Smegma Poo just did a $2 tip. Thank you, Smegma Pool. Smegma Pool? Is that Deadpool and his parody Bizarro brother, Smegma Pool? Ugh. Let's try this again. Smegma Poo to me $2 says, please play Half-Life 2 on hard difficulty to add challenge to the game's easy. No. Metroid's mother cheered and said, is Fortnite an option for the Rageathon? Yes, although I don't know why you would pick that, because it doesn't really make me rage. The only things I don't like about the game is the building aspect, and it doesn't make me rage, I just don't like the game. It's not like I sit there and I go, oh, it's building a building, ah. I don't. I just play it as a shooter and don't like it. But, hey, I'm not ruling out anything right now. As long as anything is readily playable, meaning it's a game that I can play either, you know, digitally, right away, or easily can buy it quick off of Amazon for $100, then yes, it's eligible for the Rageathon. Okay? Okay. Shout out to Ultimate Boss, who did a 1600-bit cheer to become the cheerleader for today. Very nice. Thank you very much, Ultimate Boss, for that support. So, first of all, let me get Ultimate Boss up on the leaderboard for his very, very generous cheer. Thank you, Ultimate Boss. And let's read his message. He says, sorry, Phil. I have not been showing up to streams that much lately. I'm working a lot. Have some bits. Thank you very much, Ultimate Boss, for the support. I appreciate that. Okay. Shout out to YOLO Dopper. He says, I can't believe there are people out there that believe stuff even if it's taken out of context. What a crazy world we live in. Ignorance is bliss. I mean, I don't even think ignorance is bliss. I think it's more that ignorance is drama. When you are immature and all you want to do is believe in the worst in other people, you will believe anything. You know, people will believe completely fabricated stuff. They'll believe out of context stuff. They'll believe the dumbest shit ever just to laugh hysterically and say, you're so weird, your life is so weird compared to mine. And it's really stupid. I've never been like that. I've never been one of these drama hounds or people who, like, if there's someone who I don't like, I need to constantly be hearing about negative things happening to them or around them so I can feel good. Like, there's people out there I don't like. I don't care about them. I ignore them and I focus on my own positive stuff so that way I don't have, you know, drama constantly surrounding shit. And, you know, I have positivity in my own life based off of things that I do. Constructive, productive things. That's the way to go about life, not to focus on negative crap. At least in my philosophy of life. So, it is what it is, you know. I don't think ignorance is bliss at all. I don't think they're living in bliss. I think they're just living in stupidity, quite frankly. Shout out to Last Rambo, who cheered. He says, since you finished Metroid Prime and the 4th game is coming in the future, I think you should play 2 and 3. Maybe I will. If I remember correctly, didn't I get Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii U? And that's the collection that I played, I think. So I think I should be able to get it again if I ever wanted to and play it. I don't know. No one really, no one has really nominated Metroid Prime 2 or 3 for any of these events ever since I played 1. So I don't know if that just means people didn't like the playthrough of 1. Some people said that they found it boring because the game is quite long, drawn out, and there's a lot of backtracking. I don't know. You know, ultimately, I don't decide these things. You guys do when it comes to these kind of events, retro events and stuff. So, all right, Emperor Schwaggens cheered and said, any thoughts about Sekiro, I don't know how to pronounce it yet, being published by Activision? A lot of people are up in arms about it. I'll admit it does make me kind of worry. Well, the reason it's being published by Activision is because they want it to be cross-platform so they can make more money. I mean, I'll be honest here, I bet From Software is a bit peeved that Bloodborne was as well received of a game as it was, but it's a Sony exclusive. They probably feel they missed out on a big market share, right? Not having the game on Xbox One and PC. So they want to be sure whatever their next new IP is going to be will be cross-platform so they can make all that big money. Obviously, Sony is not going to publish the game that's cross-platform. So they had to find a third-party publisher, and Activision stepped up to the plate. I don't think it's going to affect anything. I don't. I think that Activision realizes that From Software knows what they're doing. They've put out, 2 now really successful franchises of this kind of more grueling style combat in the last, decade. I don't think they want to fuck with that necessarily. I think they just want to leave it as is and let the money roll in. So, I wouldn't worry too much about Activision publishing, okay? Okay. Fred Flintstone cheered. He says, console version, though. Please tell me that's a meme. I think he's talking addressing me playing the console version of Orange Box. Fred Flintstone, as I've told you many times, I've told everyone many times, if I could play stuff on PC, I would. But unless you want to see a version of this game that starts off running at 60 frames, then chops up to the point where it's below 30, and freezes and locks and looks like general shit, I can't play on PC. It's that simple. You just got to accept that fact that, I have limitations because I don't have a whole gaming rig and a whole capture streaming rig. Which is what most professional streamers do. Someone who is a professional streamer who plays PC games typically owns 2 PCs. I know this because I confirmed it with people who do professional streaming. They say, yes, this is what we do. We don't do everything on one PC. So, there you go, guys. All right. Chairman Caleb cheered. He says, fixed cameras are of the past. It doesn't appeal to modern tastes. That's what Capcom's going for. To get as many modern sales as possible, which I don't blame them. Well, here's the thing, Chairman Caleb. If you're going to do Resident Evil 2 Remake, right, you're absolutely right. You want to make it a full-on remake that makes it feel like a modern game. I'll give you an example here. Duke Nukem Forever. This is a game that was stuck in development hell, all right? And when it came out, it pretty much was incredibly truthful and incredibly loyal to the gameplay mechanics of first-person shooters of the 1990s. It felt, when you played it, like a game from the 1990s. I personally liked the game. I thought that it was well made, even though it felt very outdated per modern criteria. I thought the game was good. The vast majority of people disagreed with me and said it feels incredibly outdated, it doesn't feel like a modern game, yada, 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 and so it was critically panned. So, if you're going to spend the time and effort to remake one of your greatest games that your company's ever made, you got to make sure that now it's going to appeal to the modern audiences, or else why call it a remake? Just call it a remaster instead of a remake. You see what I mean? If they were just remastering it and changing nothing, then I would understand if they kept the fixed camera angles. But this is not a remaster. This is a full-on remake from the ground up. And that's why I feel that the new controls and camera style makes sense. So there you go. All right. Fish Fosh 27 cheered 100 bits. He says, why is there a toucan on your shoulder? Because I like toucans. They're awesome, and they're really cool animals, and I also really like Fruit Loops. No, actually, the truth is, that is a clip from a piece of artwork that was designed 2 years ago when I was playing my Pokemon, what was it, Omega Ruby? I'm trying to remember. No, it wasn't Omega Ruby. It was a Pokemon playthrough I did. And that was the Toucanon. The Toucan evolution where he shoots beams and stuff. He's pretty cool. And that is a picture of me posing with all the Pokemon from the game. A piece of fan art. And that's just an excerpt from it. So that's why there's a picture of me with a toucan. And then Fish Fosh cheered again and said, I'm looking forward to Half-Life 2. Are you going to be using any mods? No, because I'm playing this on Xbox One, and therefore mods are not possible. So there you go. Call me Thick Daddy Thanks. Cheers. He says, I will always like how people spend money to insult you. It's like, oh yeah, I worked so hard, so now I can try to troll Phil. Is this a new form of entertainment? I guess so. I know. Like the guy who tipped me to try to get unbanned, but then he insulted me, so obviously I'm not unbanning him. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it literally makes no sense. Oh. Then again, taking stuff out of context and putting it all over the internet to try to insult me makes no sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stuff that makes no sense. So, it is what it is. Some people just make no sense. What else can I say? Shout out to Murdoch, who resubbed to the channel for the 4th month in a row and says, is it that time of the month already? Thank you, Murdoch, for the resub. Firebird XX2 subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Firebird. And Ron Victed... Ron... What? Oh. It's a play on letters. Obviously, he couldn't use the word, the real word. Ron Victed Capist. Har, 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 har. Subscribe to the channel. I don't know why you would want that name. I don't see why you would want that name on Twitch. I'm just saying. But thank you for the sub regardless. But might want to consider changing it. Not exactly a name that you would want to have, in my opinion. Okay. Let's double check. Let's see how we're doing subs-wise. Let's see here. We have gone up by 2. So let's go ahead and let's update that. 487 subs. I want to say thank you, everyone, for your support here on the pre-stream today. To anyone who cheered, subbed, or tipped, it is much appreciated. Again, if you cheer, sub, or tip, and you beat the top guys, right now we've got Ultimate Boss, the top cheer, 1,600 bits, as well as Murdoch with the top tip of $10. You will get up on the stream stats leaderboard, all right? In addition, anyone who cheers, subs, or tips will get a shout out today. All right, so it's anything you're gonna get verbal recognition, and you may get visual recognition if you hit certain criteria, and you may get up on the leaderboard. Some pretty cool stuff, right? Fred Flintstone says it's a 14-year-old game and his crappy laptop can play it and stream it. Fred Flintstone, I'm gonna explain it again. I don't know how many times I can explain it, so allow me to explain it again. It doesn't matter how old the game is. If you want me to run it at 1080p, if you want me to do it at 60 frames per second, and you also want me to capture and stream at the same time at that quality, it doesn't work. It will chop up. I know because I've tested stuff like this before, and it did not work. You know, the only way I would be able to do that is if I lowered my stream quality to 720p, then maybe I could get away with it. But I think I'd rather see the full quality visuals. Plus, this is not a Twitch-style shooter like Unreal Tournament where you need 60 frames. You know what I mean? It's not a competitive game. It's a single-player narrative game. I'm not going to need 60 frames anyway. So, there you go. I understand for PC purists, this game is a PC game, will always be a PC game, should only be played on PC. If you play it off PC, you're violating the laws of PC. And how dare you be so un-PC to play it not on PC? Too bad. Too bad. I don't have 2 PCs. I'm not doing it. Okay. Kupo Mog. What's going on, Kupo Mog? Just cheers at half Kupo life. Kupo. Haven't seen Kupo Mog around for a while. Good to see you back. Good to see you back, Kupo Mog. All right. All right. Are we done? Finally. Are we done, my friends? PC. Are we done? Can we end pre-stream and actually begin with Half-Life 2? Or do we have more to talk about? Oh, excuse me. Resident Evil Beating says, what will I do when PS5 comes out and most games run at 4K, 60 frames per second? I hate to tell you this, Resident Evil Beating, the vast majority of people who watch stuff on the internet cannot watch even 1080p at 60 frames per second. 1080p 60 frames streaming requires really good internet to watch without choppiness and interruption. So, even if most games generate or render at the higher level, most people wouldn't be able to watch that on YouTube or on stream anyway. So, doing just 1080p is perfectly fine. No worries. Okay. Jamie Paul Baldwin asked, do I put on my left or right sock first? I don't think it matters. I don't think it ever matters. I'm trying to think. I honestly have no recollection. I think I just put them on randomly. So there we go. Okay, guys. Let's, Oh, yeah, Honest Troll. I did not see your goal cheer. I apologize if you tell me what you said. I should bring this up, guys. For some reason, right now, Twitch is doing a special kind of cheer that says goal. Use the goal command. You do a cheer. And it's nice because you guys get like a special emote or something. But for some reason, those cheers do not get caught in Muxy. So if I don't see it live in the stream chat, I can't see your cheers. Which sucks. Because obviously I want to give you guys all a shout out. So Honest Troll said he did a goal style cheer. I never saw it. So I apologize, and I hope that if you did say something interesting, you say it again, and I'll address it in stream chat. My bad. I couldn't see it. And now we have someone threatening to jump off a building if I don't start playing. Perhaps you should not do that. I'm just saying. Perhaps that would be a bad idea. Okay. Alright, guys. Let's end the pre-stream. Let's begin with Half-Life 2. Let's see how this goes. Again, this is a game that I've played probably about 4 hours into. So I probably will start to recognize stuff up until the 4-hour mark. And then I'm going to be like totally blindsided by the rest of the game. So, okay. Alright, guys. Thank you very much. Let's now begin with Half-Life 2, the classic.